want to do, get all your equipment set up where you're going to need it. Today we're going to be switching out these wood boards for longer ones so I can add on more hives. If you want to smoke the entrance, you want to come around a little bit back that way, not directly in front. Like I said, not directly in front. There's a quick couple puffs. Undo your ratchet if you got one. And when you pop the top, just give it a couple quick hits. You want to let it sit for a little while, let that smoke do its work on the top board. The bees will automatically start going down to the honey. Actually, let me set this stuff up over here. You can come over here so people can see. Smoke under the frame lid, the inner cover. This is a palm patty I put in here earlier. They've done a lot of work to it. This will probably be one of the supers we take off. There's a lot of bees in there. Every time you go to a new box, you should hit them with a little bit of smoke. Give them a second or two. And then they'll move down into the next box and out of your way. But right now, I'm just trying to get down into the brood box. These are both probably 40 pounds of honey. Actually, there's a lot of honey left over still from last year. Some bird combs. So now we're down into the brood, and you can see, you come in closer, you can see where they put brood in between the frames. So that leads me to believe that if there's brood here, there's brood in that box too that I just took off. See, we got some queen cell cups here. They're empty. This one outer frame, they haven't really done a whole lot of work to. Same with this one. The closer you get into the center though, there should be more activity and the cones are better drawn out. So what we got here is a lot of nectar. A lot of nectar. This whole entire frame is filled up with pollen and nectar. I don't really see any eggs. And the other side is about the same, full of nectar. But if there's brood on these frames here, the queen's got to be laying on these ones. Yep, this whole centerpiece here, this is all brood. There's eggs and larvae in there. Trying to get it into the sun so I can see better. But almost every single cell has got an egg or brood in it already. That's a really good sign. Now I haven't seen the queen, and I probably won't see the queen. It's really hard to see in here because the way the cones are getting darker. Doesn't look to be like much on that side. Smoke your bees again to get them to go down. Get them out of the way. Now you're going to squish bees. It's impossible not to. Look at this brood. You can see that it started hatching from the center out. But this is all worker brood. There's no drones pollen all the way around each corner. That's a really good sign. The same on this side. This queen is laying really good, and she's last year's queen. She was blue marked. That is an extremely good brood pattern. With all these honeybees that are working the edges, they're getting pollen in here, and everything that they're bringing in. I'm going to move this box to the bottom. I really don't need to inspect it anymore. I know it's doing really good. But right now, I'm just going to leave it as it is and get this box switched to the bottom so they have more space. Make sure all these bees are going back down inside. See, I want to check this real quick over here. To see if they're doing any brood laying in these boxes, since they're really close to the top. Then another tool. It comes in very handy. This is all honey that they've opened most of it. There is some brood on here though, so this box is going to end up staying, but I'm going to have to split the two boxes. I'm going to get this off first. Now I don't expect there to be a whole lot of anything in this box because it's the bottom one. Everything's moved up from last year. Use this. Tight too. Purple is really good and tight. But yeah, as you can see, there ain't nothing on that outside frame or the next frame. I'm going to take this box off stuck to the board. Now, remove these, put on my new ones, which you need to do kind of quick. I've already leveled this out so that it's all the same level across. I'm going to put a landing board up. And this box is not going up next. So this way I keep the brood all together. So there's new brood here, a little bit of new brood in here, and then this one's empty, so they can move up. Now when it comes to these supers, these had honey in them. And I want to check to see how much is open. So that's pretty much a full frame on one side. So yeah, they're not using this. So I'm going to take this box with me. Alright. Next we have to clean off these bees back into the hive so I can get these supers out. Check them each time. There's some bees on here. Just brush them off. Once you get a box clean, you can put all the honey frames back in there. Come on. Everybody must go. That weighs probably a good 5 pounds. The closer to the center you get, though, it's going to be a little bit harder to get bees off because you'll have more. This one side is, they were eating up it. But that side I can uncap. Got one straggler. Come on. Yeah, I guess I could just take them all, uncap everything, and then I could put these right back on the hive. They'll clean up whatever's left behind, and they'll move whatever is left into the other cells. Anyway, smoker. The wind has changed. These are going to be a little bit harder to uncap because, as you can see, the honey is not really against the wood frame. It's a little inset. Trying to get all these bees off. It's really working itself. Now you can get a, I'm not really sure what it's called anymore. It's like a cap that goes on your inner cover that the bees can go through. You know, the bee escape. I don't have one, otherwise I would have used one. Almost done. This also has a pointed end on it, so you can do this without a tool. But this is all last year's honey that the bees didn't get into or use, and they're already bringing in nectar, so they're not going to need this. It's just taking up space. The quicker I can get it out of there, clean it up, get the honey out of it, the quicker the bees can actually start filling it back up again. Oh, I kicked over my smoker. You can see that's a really good full capped honey frame, both sides. Now if I had more bees, they would be all over this, trying to get as much honey as they could. And look at this, we got a little, a little robber wasp. Alright, so that's that. So now I can take this box, set it off to the side, and reload it with all these frames. lid on it, just to help keep some of the bees out of it. Now this pollen patty, I want to move. To that box. And then we do the process over again. We check to see what's honey in here. Another full cap, almost both sides. And we start the whole process over again. Where is... Man, I don't know. Temperature right now is in the middle 60s. I know, you're mad. I would be too. Quicker I get these all cleaned up and everything, and then I can close the hive back up. Put these bees in here back in April of 2020. They made it through the winter just fine. I only did 2 mite treatments the entire time last year. The last one being in October or September. These are all full. I didn't know how much they would need over the winter time. It obviously wasn't this much. So once I get all this done, I close up the hive, and then we can take it back and start looking into uncapping it and getting the honey out. It's a pretty warm day out. I'm sweating bullets in this bee suit. Some people say, oh, you don't need a suit, you just need a veil. You don't even need gloves. Wear what makes you comfortable. I don't like getting stung. Don't hurt, but it just annoys me. None of these frames that I'm pulling out right now have any nectar in them. It's all capped honey or empty cells. I got some buzzing around my face. They're a little angry. Don't be afraid to smoke yourself. Even though I didn't see the queen, I saw brood and I saw eggs, and they weren't drones. So I know she's in there, and I know she's laying really good due to the pattern. So when I get done with this, go back to my log book. and write it all down in there. Finally, the last frame. See, there's nothing on the outside, but the inside completely capped off. All right, now crumple down. Clean out the bees best you can out of here. Less bees, the less annoying pests you got later. All right. So now I can put the inner cover back on. And the outer cover. Make sure everything's lined up. Then I always put these on because we got raccoons. We don't have any bears here, at least not yet. Fix this up a little bit. Twist it. And that's that. Now we'll pull out this, but it's pretty warm out today. Give them some ventilation, some airflow, get some of that smoke out of there so they get back to work. The front entrance no longer has the entrance reducer in it. It's supposed to be in the 60s the next 3 days and only going down into the low 50s. So they should be fine with all this stuff pulled out in front. If it does get colder, I will come back out and put an entrance reducer back inside. But other than that, that's all I'm going to do for today. Get all this packed up, back up to the house, get the honey out, which will be another video. Hope you like what you saw today. If you do, like, subscribe, leave me a comment. And thanks for watching.